This is Colin Dixon with nScreenMedia, and I'm speaking with Ilker Uergenc, who is Tech Solutions Specialist at Akamai. Welcome, Ilker.
Thank you, Colin, for having me today.
It's good to have you. And actually, we're doing a little bit of a follow-up from the Video Security Summit, where Ilker's compatriot Mark Barron, he did a great session called It Takes a Village to Fight Piracy. You can find that on demand at the Video Security Summit site. So why don't you check that out? But today we're going to take a little bit of a different tack. Ilker's going to share with us some data, and then we're going to look at an actual attack. We're actually going to talk about an actual attack. But first, maybe we're getting a little bit of ahead of ourselves. So why don't you introduce yourself, Ilker?
Yes, my name is Ilker Uergenc, as you mentioned. I'm working at Akamai since almost 10 years, and my whole background is digital media. I worked at OB-WANs, worked for several CDN vendors, and I'm here at Akamai now, within year number 10.
Wow, 10 years, that's a long innings.
Yes.
Okay, so can you help us get some dimension around piracy? Talk us through some data.
Oh, yes, I would love to. Let me allow sharing my screen if you don't mind.
Sure.
What do we see here? Before we talk about exactly this slides, I would like to talk about some numbers which we have from Muso. We have some piracy data from Muso where we are allowed to reference. That said, I would love to begin with some generic numbers from the industry. The piracy demand between January 2021 and July 2021 reached 620 million visits to piracy websites, torrent downloads in the European region. In comparison to the global number, that has been 2.9 billion, less than a quarter. I'm pretty sure that APJ and the MENA region are capturing the flag there, but I don't know. Let's ask these guys. In Europe, United Kingdom has been topping our list with piracy demand, followed by Spain, France, Germany, and Italy. Across all industries, streaming was the #1 method of piracy with 57.8%, followed by web downloads making 27.5%, public torrent being 9%, and stream ripping, yes, it's still there, with 4.1%. On Akamai side, we could talk about our own data sets from our managed content protection service. The numbers will refer to a time range between November 2019 and May 2020. I know we need to update them, so let's wait. We analyzed 65 workflows from 12 different OTT providers with focus on US. We saw viewers from 268 countries and counted a bit more than 500,000 hours of streaming. At the end, 7.7% of the tracked IPs have been fraudulent. What do we mean by fraudulent? They were sharing their tokens or have been using 35 VPNs or requesting content via suspicious hosting service providers from unexpected devices running 184 different piracy tools. And we believe that restreamed content is way beyond that traffic which we have been able to analyze and which we see on our platform. Therefore, we have partners working where we are working close with to be able to stop piracy also beside Akamai.
That's a pretty horrifying number, that 7.7% number, and this is sort of a double whammy for the providers, right? Because not only are their streams being pirated, but they're paying for them to be pirated.
Exactly, and that's like they are competing against pirates, and they are paying their bills. And that must be really frustrating, I believe.
Yeah.
And we have to act against it. And we have the right tools.
Yeah. I was also quite shocked that video streaming now is so dominant in piracy. I think there's very often a tendency for us to think about torrent sites. I wonder why that is. Why do we always seem to refer to torrent sites as the main piracy offender when in fact it's streaming? I mean, could it be that they're easier to count? It's easier to see what content is available there or something?
Torrent, I believe it's historically, because torrent sites, that's what I've been doing as a student. Oh my God, it's been recorded. Yes. And don't tell me that you haven't done it. Historically, that was the time where a great user experience was simply not there. But if you look at today's services the pirates are offering, it's they are competing. So the service providers are competing with the user experience these guys are providing today. You buy a box, you pay $10 a month, and you can see and watch everything what you want through the internet being streamed. You don't have to go to that page. You don't have to download that torrent. Oh, is it malware? I don't know. Should I click on it? Hey, it's safe. It's the box. It will do it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, the boxes really, the illegal boxes, they really do feel like you're buying something legitimate. So it's very easy, I think, for consumers to actually really not know that they're accessing an illegal service, right?
Exactly. They think even that it's a legal thing. So look, hey, I buy the box from Amazon, right? And I pay for the subscription, so it must be legal. But even worse, now the pirates are getting more and more, let's say, creative. They began selling their services through login and passwords and get your credentials or get your credit card data, install malware into these boxes, ransomware, and there things began to shift.
Yeah. Okay, so you are one of the things that about piracy is that it has gotten a lot more sophisticated, right? So when you experience an attack, the attacker doesn't just use one approach. They try several, they adapt, right? And you're going to walk us through how pirates adapt with their attacks. So let's look at that.
Exactly. Let's look at that. We have been monitoring really a big sports event, which I can't name. Sorry for that. But we have seen like 40% of the traffic being served has been piracy. What we see here, let's have a look at those numbers. We've seen when we get into the monitoring at the highest top range, we have been able to see like many tokens being shared. And then we started kicking in access revocation. Access revocation has allowed us to revoke granted tokens. And then you can see clear how the trend is going down from the piracy perspective. So it goes like from 40% down to 15%. And then attackers began to realize, oh, okay, this isn't working anymore. And they changed their attack strategies within 4 hours window. Now they start attacking, if you look at here, they are starting attacking APIs where like login mechanisms are being, where credentials are being managed. They start DDoSing those APIs. You see like at the 9th of October, I believe, we started monitoring it, and then our blocking capabilities kicked in 10th of October, if you look here. And then we see that the attack vectors are trying other systems in the game. So they try to attack also on the application level, maybe the DRM systems. They are just looking whatever is available, and they're trying to get the best user experience. And if they can't go through those protection systems, they will simply try, ripping it from an HDMI output or from the broadcast signal and stream it through Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. They will find their ways. Yes.
So talk to us a little bit about the application layer attack. What are they actually attacking there?
They are attacking the APIs where you get, let's say, you're allowed to log into the system and get credentials or a DRM license. Or how many times can I log in? I can access, let's say, 4 devices at the same time. They are working around that's protection layer. So They break the rules. They write scripts, work around. You can, for $100, you can buy a hacker service who will analyze your APIs and tell you, hey, for $200, I'll just write you a script so you can work around this. And that's what they are doing. They are reverse engineering the mods, especially the Android mods. You obfuscate these tools. If you don't make them tamper-proof, then they will be able to reverse engineer your application and try to find ways around like the mechanisms which are tracking how many times are you logged in. So there are a lot of ways to get around that. And if the DRM licensing service is not coupled with the CDN delivery, then you have an open door. It's just have one login and share it with many other applications.
Right. Do you want to unshare your screen while we chat some more?
Sure.
With the DDoS attacks, one of the things that's really the evolution of DDoS, it's like just as you say, you can hire a hacker to write a script to get around APIs. You can also hire resources to perform your DDoS attack. So talk us through how that works.
The more hits you see from one client at this specific use case, we have seen like 100 hits per second from one IP. If they, let's say, reach a threshold on your backend, then you're kind of forced to, let's say, apply a fail open architecture. Okay, my backend is burning, so I have to let everyone through, otherwise the service is down. And the worst thing which can happen to you is breaking the user experience. Before breaking the user experience, you open the gates. Okay, people come in, watch my content.
Right. So, I mean, are they? Can you just throw resources at these things to defend against the DDoS attacks, or do you have to be more sophisticated than that? So as they start to bombard your servers with requests, I mean, can you just keep ratcheting up the amount of CPUs, or do you block? Are you actually able to block the requests? Exactly, the requests are being blocked as they are happening. So the good thing is it doesn't even reach end customers' backend, because we see, hey, this is a denial of service attack from this IP, blacklisted. Go away. We don't let you through. Okay. But I suspect that they're also doing things like rotating IPs to, of course, so this is a constantly moving target. So exactly. So they change, like within 4 hours window, they'll look for another parameter. Okay, is this API, the login API, DRM licensing API? They will try everything. And I got one other question for you before we finish up. Please. Here. It's one of the things I think that people walk around with is that, there's an attack and then it's over, and then there's this long period of quiet where there's nothing going on, and then there's another attack. That's not what's really happening, right? Yeah, while nothing is happening, the pirates aren't just waiting for the next event. They look at the weakest attack vector in the chain you are offering. So what is it? Is it a setup box? They will reverse engineer the setup box. They'll try to, find backdoors to get access to your content, be it the satellite feed. Okay, the simplest thing would be, okay, there is conditional access on it. I will buy a key server and then share it with the folks who are watching it. And then that output, if it comes through an HDMI, I can use an HTTP stripper and then put that HDMI feed clean through the ether and stream it. That's easy. Yeah. Okay, this has been a fascinating look at, well, we've got data, we've seen how they adapt, pirates adapt their attack. Thank you so much for spending time with us. And I want to encourage people, if you want to know how to put together a solution to actually defend against these types of attacks, please come on over to the Video Security Summit website. and watch the Akamai session. It takes a village to fight piracy with Mark Barron. He really did elucidate a lot of the stuff that you need to be doing to defend against these types of attacks. Ilker, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Colin, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
This has been Colin Dixon with nScreenMedia.